This is from the Irish Post, and it's talking about basically all the best Christmas movies, like the most popular Christmas movies of 2021. Like I think it's like an overall metric here. And it's got percentages, and it's also got favorite Christmas movie, Christmas movies we're most tired of seeing. So there's like a bunch of stuff here. It's not just...
look, sign into their subscription.
No, thank you. I'm not using the Wayback Machine or archive.com. That's as good as that's as much as I can give them here. So first of all, I want to ask you guys before we get started, what is your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
This list, it had some successes and disappointments for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it nailed the main critical question. Home Alone is my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
Did you watch the remake on Disney Plus?
I'm not going to do that. No.
Dude, they made the kid look like a villain, which he is, because all the parents, like the quote-unquote villains, they're just parents that are really poor, and they just wanted to get a doll for their daughter. And they thought he stole it, and they were trying to go into his house to get it. And then finally, when he did all the traps and the parents are, like, all injured, they finally asked, like, the husband asked the kid, did you steal the doll? He's like, what doll? And he's saying it in the British accent too, so it's like more obnoxious. He's like, I don't have a doll. And they're like, oh, all's forgiven.
It's all a big misunderstanding?
Yeah.
That is the worst. I mean, out of all the bad remakes that I've heard of, that sounds so dreadful.
But I kind of like the actress that plays as the mom, like the mom villain.
Who's the mom?
She's the actress that played Kimmy Schmidt.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. She was also in The Office, the redhead.
And Bridesmaids. Yeah,
Yes.
she's good. She's good.
Um,
But what's your favorite Christmas movie?
yeah, that was the next question. I need to know yours. So his is Home Alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yours?
Sarah asked me this. I don't know exactly, but it's not on the list.
I need an actual answer.
Because
Dude,
I love all of them, but
I kid you not, I bugged Hannah Claire. First of all, I got a list. I took a survey of all our coworkers and got their favorite Christmas movies. And
Nice.
and Hannah Claire, we have a glorious writer here at the company who writes articles, who is so into research that when I asked her for her favorite Christmas movie, she's like, I can't tell you. And then she went and literally started researching Christmas movies over ones she's seen, trying to figure out which one it was that she liked the best. And she wouldn't give me an answer. I swear to God, she only gave me two. She wouldn't give me one. She gave me two.
What?
So
She's great. Oh, my God. One of a kind.
So I need an answer, Miracle.
women are indecisive. But actually, I like the Polar Express.
Okay.
It's not even on this list.
No, it's on one other person had that on on the list here, and I'll be full disclosure. We judged him very hard for loving that movie because
I didn't
the
say
the book is fantastic.
I didn't say I loved it. I just said I like it
But I need you don't have a favorite Christmas movie.
because I like all of them pretty much.
No, there's not one that you're just like dying to watch every year. I mean, because I have a whole list of movies I look forward to going through starting at the beginning of December. As soon as
It's like
Thanksgiving's over,
it's like Halloween. People have certain
Yes.
Halloween movies they watch
Absolutely.
during that time of year.
Yeah.
So if you guys, would you like to hear some of the?
I have to. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because Brett is already over with me. He's like, she doesn't have a favorite
Well,
Christmas
well,
movie.
well, the
Answer.
point is that we're going to come back to it and
Okay.
discuss why
All right.
it's your favorite,
All
right?
right, sure.
So for me, it's the Santa Claus. That's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. I can, and the funny thing is, because of the time of year, I couldn't even really tell you why. It's because of the age, the time it came out in, and the age I was at that time likely has a great deal to do with that, right? There's a magic
Totally.
there that is almost entirely emotional and has very little to do with good filmmaking, right? So Andy, any guesses? Andy, he's the CTO of the company we work
Jingle
for.
all the way.
You looked at the list.
I cheated.
No. Okay. Well, I'll just list them off.
All right, yeah.
Sarah, as in Sarah
Luke's?
downstairs. No,
Nova.
other
Different
Sarah.
Sarah, okay.
Nova.
The
No.
Grinch.
Yes.
Okay.
The Grinch. Lisa, Die Hard.
Okay.
Andrew, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course he is.
Luke says National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, as does Sarah, his Sarah. Andreas says It's a Wonderful Life. Brian says Surviving Christmas. Ben says Nightmare Before Christmas as well. Chris says It's a Wonderful Life. I didn't expect that one from Chris.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's kind of a surprise.
Nick said The Polar Express, so that's too bad.
Oh, okay.
And then Sarah says the same as Luke. National Lampoons, and then Hannah Claire gives me White Christmas and The Spirit of Christmas. And it took her.
You know what? I take back everything I said about her. She's a nut.
It took her all day to think of that, and I was just like, really? Like
she is so
but she-
dialed into the news reporter experience that she's not like thinking about her own experience with like Christmas movies.
She did though. We went through like an hour-long discussing like how Christmas movies are structured and how they're like designed to like. First of all, they're like Pixar movies. They're emotionally manipulative. All Hallmark movies are that way, right? Like it's a formula. It's like it's a small town, and then all of a sudden this lady who's like a big town lawyer, and she suddenly moves back to the small town because something happens. Ensue emotional manipulation, and that's what holiday movies do. But you live for it because it's what they are, and they aren't trying to be something else. Die Hard is. I also had to deal with people calling Die Hard a Christmas adjacent movie. Which I then thoroughly ragged on them for and made fun of them for saying such things. Andy said that, and so did Hannah Claire. Like, it's not really a Christmas movie. It's Christmas adjacent.
They said adjacent.
That's awful. That is awful. They're wrong.
Yeah.
So for you, why is your favorite Christmas movie?
I think it really goes back to being that age when that movie came out. I mean, I think I was 5 or 6. I think I was actually 5 when Home Alone came out, and that was one of my. If it wasn't the first movie I saw in a theater, it was like the first movie I remember seeing in the theater.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, it's grown on me over the years too. I appreciate so many more elements of it, and but I'll never forget like being in the theater and being a kid, and you see that Daniel Stern is getting ready to put his bare feet on all that glass, and I was like freaking out. I was just like, oh my god! Like I never experienced that in a movie in a dark movie theater as a 5-year-old before, and my mom was just like, oh, do you need to go? Should we leave? And I was just like, no.
I love this.
Have you ever seen the cuts they make where they change the music and it looks like a horror movie?
Yes.
Yeah, and it works that way.
It works that way.
Totally.
My favorite meme or request that people had is instead of making the Home Alone remake that they did, what they should have done is remake Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin and have no one acknowledge the fact that he's like 40 years old. Just play it like he's 9. And just nobody seems to notice that he's not a kid, that he's a full-grown adult. And
that'd be so confusing.
Would be amazing, right? And then they were saying that if you ever get a chance, watch the Honest trailer for Home Alone. Incredible.
It is really good. Yeah, definitely. I've always wanted to see a sequel where, like, just kind of works with the idea that Macaulay Culkin his character is just cursed. He's always being left behind at Christmas. So instead of being the kid that's left behind, he's the dad that gets left behind. and he ends up, maybe, I don't know how other criminals get involved, but they have to show up somehow. Maybe they've been in prison for 20 years and they have to be rehabilitated.
Pesci and Stern are still alive, so they could come back.
I know. I would love to see that.
They want revenge somehow.
But I love the acting in this movie. I think that the editing is flawless. The directing is genius. I mean, everything about it is really great.
Christopher Columbus.
Yes, exactly.
Have you watched the Netflix TV show, The Movies That Made Us? They talked about it.
Absolutely.
I love that.
That was a great episode.
Yeah.
So they talked about the whole background story, like how all the famous Christmas movies that made us, like, as we were growing up, like how they did it. Apparently, they almost didn't do it because I forgot who's the main actor that got electrocuted.
Daniel Stern.
Yeah, like he didn't want to do some of them.
That's
like
interesting.
Some of his stunts.
That's like right up his alley.
It is.
Bushwhacked.
Yeah.
But prior to these movies, he was doing like serious dramas. Like he was in Barry Levinson's 1982 debut Diner. There was a handful of movies that he did where it was very serious. But
did you know he directed Rookie of the Year?
Yes, I did. And that is a brilliant performance from him in that movie.
It's like his only foray into directing.
And it's really good.
It's really good.
I know.
Merrick, was that you I was talking about? Yeah, she knows that movie. And I was like, she understood my Windermere reference that I made talking about the character of Windermere. And I was like blown away.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. That's like deep cut for a Zoomer to understand how annoying it must have been to watch Windermere get sent to right field.
Well, you called me a Gen Xer because I was listening to a lot of like heavy metal and punk rock.
She was listening to like Papa Roach one day. I'm like, hey.
Nice.
Oh my god, have you heard their new remake with this one celebrity
I didn't even
singer?
listen to them when they were out, let alone.
Well, there's like a new remake. It's called revisit of Last Resort. It's like something new. It came out this week, and I was listening to it with Sarah, and she's like, I don't like it because it's like slower. Like it goes slow, but then it goes to like the upbeat that we remember, where it's like, this is my last resort, cut my life into pieces.
Go on.
No, I'm scared.
I mean, it slows down the whole song. I don't think it would interest me. That's not really my genre.
No.
So
Yeah, well, you made fun of me because I like the 3 Days of Grace.
Nobody's perfect, man.
And then I like Linkin Park also.
You get a pat. Linkin Park's fine. Chester
It's
Bennington
fine.
was the
Yeah.
man. So my answer was the Santa Claus. Mine ended up on this favorite list, but with only 8% of the votes, it was number 10. Yours was number 1. Home Alone got 24% of the votes on here. So a bunch of these didn't even end up on there. I mean, who here was going to pick Love Actually?
Awful movie. Really bad.
I couldn't believe nobody said The Holiday. The Holiday is a very, very well-structured, emotionally manipulative Christmas movie that is...
Nobody liked
that
Krampus?
I enjoyed it. I don't think it belongs on
Klaus came out last year, the animation. Or no, that was 2 years ago.
A good friend of mine just told me about a movie called Fat Man with Mel Gibson. Have you heard of this?
I've never seen it.
Never heard of it, never seen it, but apparently Mel Gibson plays like a gun-toting Santa Claus type figure.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Okay.
I think I might have seen a Critical Drinker video on it. Maybe
I haven't
not.
seen it yet, but I'm intrigued.
But this part of the list was interesting because it says film series most wanting, like, that are most watched over Christmas, and I wonder why that is. Like, I understand the Harry Potter ones. I know for a good portion of the releases, if I remember correctly, they were coming out around Christmas.
Right, right.
So you tie it in there. Plus the Halloween the books dealt with Christmas in almost every book until the end, right? It was like they made a big deal. They even used the term Boxing Day, which people in America don't even know what the hell Boxing Day is.
Yeah. I learned that from my Canadian friends on Discord.
There you go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't imagine why people would watch. I didn't know. Is Pirates of the Caribbean a winter release as well?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I haven't seen Pirates after Pirates 2, and I remember almost.
I'm so mad that they destroyed the ride.
Plus they got rid of Depp, and they're going to make the female-only version of the female reboot of Pirate.
Of course they are.
Princess of the Caribbean.
Okay, I was okay when they kind of redesigned Pirates of the Caribbean, because like you remember that one scene on the ride where like the guy is chasing after the woman in that one part of the ride. Well, they got rid of it, so it's like basically instead of a guy chasing after the girl, she's like sitting on the balcony and she's like acting like all posh. But she's still like AKA Lady of the Night.
Right.
I've never been on the ride.
You've never been to Disneyland or Disney World, and I'm so disappointed. I want to take you.
I'm not going to Disneyland or Disney World.
We have to go. They have new Disney stuff. It's the 50th anniversary.
I'm already giving them money, having a Disney Plus subscription, and even that makes me feel dirty.
Yeah, I share that feeling.
Yeah. Like I pay for it, and I'm like, I need a shower after paying Disney any amount of money.
I know, it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But it's the 50th
that's where you watch
anniversary.
the Santa Claus.
Yes, I love that movie, and for me, honestly, the part that I remember more than anything is the part where he gives like his ex-wife's the new stepdad. He gives him the weenie whistle.
Oh,
and
I know.
And the guy goes, "My weenie whistle."
It's an unforgettable moment.
I have no idea why, but I remember that. And when he says, and when he goes into his police interrogation, like. Or no, actually, never mind. Now more of it's coming back to me. The part that still hits me, maybe more than anything else, is when they go to Denny's, and the kid's all excited. He goes, "Chocolate milk," and she's like, "We're out," and he goes, "Regular milk's fine." Like that's me all the time. That's fine.
I gotta say that this Santa Claus is a movie that's aged beautifully.
Yes,
and it resonates with me as an adult too,
Yes.
especially as an adult with a kid because it's just like. I don't know. I feel like there's some themes about faith and, just like because like as I watch it now and I revisit it every year, I'm just like, oh, this is really about, in some ways, it's about a person's perceived psychosis.
Yeah.
And it's just like
it would make more sense than in a world where this isn't real.
Right.
That always makes more sense than what happened in the actual movie.
Yeah.
Not to mention that horrible contract where if he just happens to fall off your roof, you're just screwed.
That's not the original script. Do you know that?
No.
The original script is he shoots Santa. But they said too dark for Disney. You can't do that.
Dude, the NRA version, that's awesome. I want that
know.
one. It also has young David Krumholtz as the lead elf, who Krumholtz went on to, he was in 10 Things I Hate About You. I love 10 Things I Hate About You. I love the show Numbers, which nobody in the world has seen but me.
I have seen it.
I love that show. That's good. That's it's like the most ridiculous concept ever, where they're solving crimes with math, like on the fly. Like algorithms, maybe that kind of makes sense, but they're like using math to solve like crimes that happen right then and now.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
if
I
you
can
think
see
about
it.
it.
Everything is
That's plausible.
sped up in Hollywood. It's like TV shows that solve like these like months-long crimes in a day. Like their outfits never change. I love that. So, but Home Alone really is like, you've heard the theory that he's Jigsaw. That
Yes, I love that theory.
Yeah, me too. That's a great theory.
That may be the most compelling fan theory that there is, because who wouldn't imagine that this kid wouldn't have turned out to?
Well, he's trying to make sinners / bad doers be. I forgot the word. Like my brain just farted, and I
That's
was
okay.
like, bad doers.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
She's like, it's the opposite of do-gooders. It's do-badders.
Do batters. That sounds kind of cute.
Do better.
Do better.
Well, as enticing as the Jigsaw premise is, I just think that he is destined to be a filmmaker. I think that he's a tinkerer, and he knows how to, it's not just like setting up little cars and stuff. Like he knows how to like stage an entire event that happens. And I think that that's one of the reasons that Chris Columbus may have been attracted to this project, and longtime screenwriter John Hughes came up with this premise, is because it's really a movie kind of about the kind of precocious mind that could mature into an artist, especially a crazy artist like a filmmaker. You know,
maybe he ends up becoming a performance artist and working in museums where he sets up elaborate things that are just far less dangerous.
Totally.
Like the paint cans come down, but they're foam paint cans. And
That's true.
I love that.
Did you? That's the other thing. Did you see the story like a month ago where the house from Home Alone was put up for Airbnb for one night only?
I think
God,
I
I wanna
sent
be
you
there.
that article.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it on air, but yeah, you were able to go there and do that.
And they set it all up with right down to the Michael Jordan cutout. Amazing.
Micro machines. and
Well,
Michael
have
Jordan.
you seen the Robot Chicken version?
No.
It's so funny. They're like, if Robot Chicken was in charge of writing it, the kid would die.
And the mom has cashed in by making a Capital One credit card commercial or something where it's with Kevin Hart, where she just says Kevin really loud a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, that commercial. We loved it.
Pre 9/11.
That's pretty funny.
Also, the honest trailer, like pre 9/11 air traffic, like air travel, like where they just let him on the plane, and he's like, "My dad's over there. They don't even see his face. It's just a guy in a coat." Like, sure, totally normal. Like that guy lost his job.
Yeah.
Like you sent a kid to freaking to New York when he was supposed to go to France.
Yeah. It's a different time, different time, different form of parenting, everything. If I may, I did want to touch on the movies we're tired of seeing on the Irish Times list, because there's a couple things here. I was disappointed The Holiday was on there. I was disappointed because we just revisited that and I really enjoy it. I love Nancy Meyers. I think she's a great auteur filmmaker. Scrooged is in my top 5. I love Scrooged. It's a very dark, weird movie, but I love it because Bill Murray, especially in that movie, but also in general, is like kind of my spirit animal. I quote that movie all year long. Like I just have that. I have his reactions to people in that movie every day.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it?
I've only seen Scrooge, like
Kinda
half
love
of
it.
Scrooge.
Okay. Huh?
I watched
My
like
dad loves that movie.
Yeah.
I watch all renditions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of like that story. I like the Disney version the most with Scrooge McDuck.
It's pretty good.
It's
I
really
remember that.
good.
Yeah.
It's really
That's
good.
a classic.
But I'm kind of upset that the movies that this is technically a Christmas movie, Gremlins.
Yes, Gremlins is technically a Christmas movie. If Die Hard is a Christmas movie, Gremlins is still technically considered a Christmas movie.
Because
Disagree
it's-
on both counts.
Yeah.
No, but it's set in Christmas.
To me, the only thing that has to qualify is that the entirety of the movie takes place over the Christmas season and a vague connection to Christmas. Now, if a movie is like a year and they show a Christmas scene, that doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
But come on, they were watching Snow White. That's very Christmas-ish.
I mean, it doesn't have as much to do with the theme as, say, Die Hard, which is like he's trying to get home to see his, and he has to go through, because it's literally at a Christmas party. I don't like the term Christmas adjacent. I really don't.
Totally object to that. Maybe my problem is just that I don't like those movies.
Yeah, maybe.
And I mean, I would replace them with Serendipity and Joy.
Yes.
I mean, these are not really Christmas movies, but these are such Christmas movies.
I noticed that nobody on here had Frosty the Snowman. There was no there was no Charlie Brown Christmas.
Right.
I would expect both of those to be on here, and they're not.
I was singing the theme song. It's Christmas time.
But those are not full-length films, though. Also, they're
Right.
like 30 minutes, like 23 to with commercials, 30 minutes. So I don't know. One of my strongest memories of Christmas media is more to do with commercials than movies. There's a great commercial where Scrooge is it's clearly supposed to be Scrooge, gets eats Cheerios and smiles for the first time in years, and you see all this light bathe him.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I remember that.
You remember it, even though it's not sticking in your brain, right? It's that scene. Whoever that director was should be awarded for his ability to make that memorable, right? Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.